CEO, Mr. KG Lim, and Mr. Lim will explain in more detail how to prevent oxidative stress during this period of time using Vantros IM Laser Therapy. Hi, Mr. Lim. Hello, Mr. Lim.
Hi, thank you.
Hi.
Thank you.
So
hello, everyone.
Thank you. Hi.
Yeah, hello, everyone. Thank you for attending. I'm glad that Caleb has given me the time for this slot for my little bit of sharing. The title of my sharing today is How to Prevent Oxidative Stress During the Pandemic with the Vantros IM Laser Therapy. I want to thank Caleb because half of what I want to share, he has already spoken. So that means it makes my job easier. The order of my presentation for all of you today will be on three main points. Firstly, I will do an introduction to the Vantros IM Laser Therapy. Today, I will not be sharing my personal testimony because you have heard it many times over. But if you do need it for some prospects, you can go to the YouTube and download it. I will just do a short introduction to the Vantros IM Laser Therapy. Then I will move on to talk about the dangers of oxidative stress. This is particularly very relevant to all of us who are going through stressful times in this pandemic. And I also thought that maybe it is good that we talk about something a little bit different from what we normally share during the BOPs. So I chose oxidative stress as the topic for me to share. And lastly, actually, this is a very important point as far as I'm concerned. Preparing yourself and your family to face the post-pandemic reality. We are all hard hit the world over, and I'm going to talk about that as my last point before I end my sharing. So let's move on. I will now go on to the introduction to the IM Laser Therapy. And today, my sharing over this point, also I try to bring in some fresh information so that you have additional information to add on to what you already know. Let's move on. Now, the Vantros 3-in-1 IM laser. This is the world's first 3-in-1 home use medical device. For what? For promoting human life, maintaining human life, and delaying aging. The IM in IM laser stands for integrative medicine. That means we integrate, we combine. So this combination is a synergistic combination of three therapies. The 3-in-1 is a synergistic combination of one, low-level laser therapy. And in the internet, you will see LLLT, the short form coming out in many articles. Two, the LLLT is combined with breakthrough non-invasive acupuncture therapy. In other words, this is acupuncture without needles. And this is a breakthrough as far as acupuncture is concerned. And number three is a combination of magnetic therapy. So three therapies are combined synergistically to give us the IM laser therapy. Very powerful. The low-level laser therapy, the LLLT, what is it actually? What is it actually? It is given different names, different terminologies by different authors and scientists. LLT, known as a cold laser therapy, or it is also called photobiomodulation therapy. Whichever name you use it, this therapy uses low-level laser, usually is in the region of 600 to 850 nanometers. So this low-level laser light is to boost the body's natural immune system. In this pandemic, there is nothing we can do better than to ensure we all have a healthy immune system working for us. And exactly this is where our IM laser comes in. The primary function is to boost our body's natural immune system and boost the natural healing ability in our body, especially in response to pain, inflammation, swelling, and muscular spasm, while at the same time increasing ATP, adenosine triphosphate, the chemical energy that sustains life in our body, and make our blood rich in oxygen, bringing this energy, ATP, and the oxygen-rich blood to the cells. How does the 3-in-1 IM laser work? When the device is worn over the left wrist, as shown in the user manual when you buy a unit, the 650 nanometer laser lights in our IM laser will instantaneously stimulate the main acupuncture points at the wrist. And this, together with the magnet therapy, will speed up the opening of the 361 acupuncture points in the body, immediately increasing the blood flow and oxygen supply to the cells and tissues. Now, at the same time, as the therapy improves and increases blood flow and oxygen supply to the cells, the laser light goes to activate the mitochondria in the cells to produce and release the all-important ATP, nitric oxide, and ROS, reactive oxygen species, all of which are vitally important in boosting the immune system in the body. Now, the ATP, the mitochondria, the nitric oxide, and the reactive oxygen species, these are very important molecules that will help to sustain human life and also to keep us young. We can all live much longer so long as we have sufficient ATP in our cells, we have sufficient nitric oxide in our cells, and ROS in our cells. In fact, this IM laser therapy is so wonderful because as you use it, your blood supply, blood flow will increase. Your blood will flow much faster because your blood is thinned down without taking blood thinners. And oxygen supply is immediately increased. So your cells in the body will receive the goodness of this therapy immediately. And just now, Caleb, he mentioned already about the importance of oxygen in the cells. yeah, we cannot deny it. We need a lot of oxygen in the cells. So right now in medical science, the attention all over the world is on researching more and more into the role of the mitochondria in the cells, because scientists are beginning to realize that our life begins and ends at the mitochondria. What kind of illness you are going to have, how long you are going to live, whether you are going to look young or look older than your age, all these are determined at the mitochondria. And you know, in Vantros, we are already talking about mitochondria 5 years ago. And now I want to show you this slide, the mitochondria. The mitochondria, these bean-like structures, are inside the cell. And once it is stimulated by the laser light energy, it will release in the cell these molecules, very important molecules, the ATP, which is the chemical energy that will sustain all cellular activities that promote life in the cell. The nitric oxide, and this is a very important molecule because our blood vessels, as we age, they tend to lose the flexibility. But with enough nitric oxide, our blood vessels will continue to be dilated, and so that blood flow is easier and oxygen can go through much faster inside the blood vessels. Our brain needs a lot of nitric oxide. In fact, brain function, if it is to be normal and active, you need a lot of nitric oxide molecules. Our muscles, our vital organs, all require that all-important nitric oxide. And the next thing released by the mitochondria, once it is stimulated by the laser light energy, is the ROS, the reactive oxygen species. This is an antioxidant, if you may call it. It is a good antioxidant, the ROS. Some antioxidants, or at least those molecules that perform antioxidant functions, some can bring damage. But this ROS that is released by the mitochondria are the good antioxidants. So when all these three are released at the same time into your cell will get a boost, not just with the vital ATP energy, but your cell will be able to revitalize, regenerate. Your cell will be able to repair itself of any damage and able to fight off any invasion or any attacks by viruses, bacteria, and so on. So this is a very important benefit from our IM laser. No, next slide. Okay, now I move on to the benefits of the IM laser therapy. Firstly, it gives you a very quick boost in your immune system. And I don't have to repeat that during this pandemic, the main thing is how to keep our immune system healthy. So the first and most important benefit is boosting or enhancing the immune system in our body. Secondly, reducing inflammation, swelling, and pain without drugs. And this is very, very important. Most people fight inflammation, swelling, and pain using drugs. And the long-term effects, side effects of using such drugs for such purposes are actually very damaging. And now using the IM laser therapy, you can actually achieve the same results, if not better, and without drugs. Thirdly, it improves our blood circulation all round, from head to toe, every organ, every cell, every tissue. And it improves neurological functions. That means to say, your nervous system will be refreshed, especially at the nerve endings. A lot of people, as they age, their nerve endings lose the sensitivity to connect and pass information from one nerve cell to another. But with the IM laser therapy, your nerve cells in your nervous system will function as though you were young again. Fourthly, this therapy increases joint flexibility, especially when age has caught up and we are doing less and less of physical activities. Our joints tends to become rigid, tends to become less flexible. And with the use of the IM laser, because of the increased blood flow, increased supply of oxygen, your joints will become more flexible. Next is that this therapy speeds up wound healing and recovery time. And this is especially important for diabetic patients because they are usually experiencing very slow wound healing. But with this therapy, the wounds dry up very fast, the wounds decrease in size very quickly, and the recovery time is cut short, which is a big benefit for those of us who experience wounds in the body. And last but not least is that this therapy is a proven therapy for anti-aging. I haven't seen anyone who has used IM laser therapy for at least 2 months who didn't look younger. A lot of our friends and relatives are going to remark that, wow, we are looking younger. And I think this is good news, especially to all the ladies out there. So who will benefit most from the IM laser therapy during this pandemic, when people are driven by fear, by stress, people are seeing so much of uncertainties? So who will benefit most from our IM laser therapy during this time? One, this particular group of people, those whose body immunity have been compromised. You know, sometimes due to our lifestyles and habits, we are not aware that we are compromising our body immunity. I give you examples. People with degenerative diseases. Example, diabetes, heart problems, dementia, Alzheimer's. These are degenerative diseases. And actually, these are brought upon our bodies because of our compromised body immunity. And usually the culprit here is because of prolonged stress, especially at this time. And I move on. People with poor lifestyle habits. Smokers, like our GM Andrew, heavy drinkers, sleep deficit people, people who sleep just 2-3 hours, 3-4 hours a day, people who are exposed to radiation, like you are using handphone around your ears and keeping the handphone charging near your pillow near your bed, people who are exposed to radiation, exposed to pollution, people who are too sedentary. Sedentary here means a lifestyle that is inactive, not active. You hardly exercise, you hardly do any physical work, you are sitting down passively most of the time, you are watching TV most of the time, and sooner or later, you will see that your body will provide you with this kind of degenerative damages. And then people who are under constant stress and anxiety, especially during this time, people who are under constant stress and anxiety, they will benefit most from the IM laser therapy. One thing I'm sure many of you would have experienced, and that is you tend to sleep better. You tend to sleep very well when you are on the IM laser therapy. The next group of people who will benefit most, it's not funny. Number 2. Yeah. The next group of people who will number 2. No, mine is number 1. Okay. Is this, sorry for a little bit of tergendala. Those who cannot afford to be sick. Am I right? At this time of the pandemic, 2 groups of people. One group so fearful that they will be struck by the virus. Another group is the group who cannot afford to be sick. Who are they? The elderly people, especially those 60 years and above. And the group of people, the breadwinners, they have to be out there in the field every day, whether virus or no virus. They have to go out and make sure they bring in money to put food on the table. Those with a history of being sickness prone, those with a history of falling sick easily, and then those who are financially challenged. Here what I mean is those who are having financial problems at this time, the stress that comes with it actually wears down your immunity level. And so you are that group of people. You cannot afford to be sick, but you need to be watching your immunity level. How? You can use the IM laser therapy and protect yourselves. The third group are those who are heavily medication dependent. People who need medication more than they need their food and water every day. And because of prolonged use of medication, they suffer from side effects of the drugs. And there's this other group called the post-surgery people. After an operation, after surgery, their immunity level would have dropped. And what better way to build up their immunity level at the quickest possible rate than by using the IM laser therapy. And Now, how do we maximize the benefits of the IM laser therapy? How do we maximize and get the best out of the IM laser therapy? Here I'm going to make a statement I have not made before, but this is after 4 years of using the IM laser therapy myself. Now, therapy has a cumulative effect. I repeat, each therapy has a cumulative effect, with each session building on the last one. As a result, your body will continue to respond and to promote healing on a cellular level after each therapy has finished. So the effects of the IM laser therapy is cumulative and long-lasting. The effect is long-lasting. So that's why you cannot be using the IM laser therapy just 1 or 2 days, and then you get lazy and you stop using it, and then you say, I don't discover any benefits out of using it. You have to be disciplined. You have to use it at least twice every day on the standard therapy. And each therapy, remember, has a cumulative effect, building on from the last therapy, and it keeps strengthening and healing you at the cellular level. Okay, next. So some people always direct this to me. How do I actually use it? So today I included here a direction of use. For the target therapy, twice a day, each time, well, I always do the default setting, 30 minutes, 3 bars. Do it 6 days, rest 1 day, then start another cycle. Now take note that there may be some initial healing crisis for some people, not all people, but when this initial healing crisis persists, you still need to continue with discipline to use the therapy to achieve the desired results. And as you do this therapy, remember to increase your intake of room temperature water before and after each therapy. I must apologize that this place that I'm using for the Zoom meeting, the internet quality is very poor. So I'm having a little bit of problem. Okay, I'd like now to share with you that the IM laser as a medical device is a properly registered medical device. Firstly, you see that we have the all-important CE cert with the ISO 13485. Not many medical devices has this certification, and we are one of those few who have got this certification that it is a top-notch medical device. Now, next is that we also have with us the Ministry of Health Malaysia endorsing us to distribute this medical device freely, and we have to conform with the GDP-MD, good distribution practice for medical device. And the next one is that we have also done all our registration for the device in China especially, and the clinical trials done. And also we have the recognition, international recognition for the IM laser last year in Switzerland. We were given a silver award for a medical device for home use. Now you can see that this is that award that we received from Geneva last year. And we are really proud that this watch-like device has now gained international recognition. So you can all use this device with full confidence. Okay, now you are seeing a short video clip of the microcirculation response before and after the IM laser therapy. Just now, if you had seen the way the blood flows in the blood vessels, it was so sluggish. But after a 30-minute therapy, the blood flow is so fast, signaling that your blood has thinned down and that it is going to enrich the cells at the cell levels. Follow, next slide. No, next slide. Go to the next. Okay, now let me move on to point number 2 that I want to share with you today. The dangers of oxidative stress. This is a medical term, scientific term, oxidative stress. Now, what do we mean by oxidative stress? Oxidative stress is an imbalance, lack of balance or loss of balance between free radicals and antioxidants in your body. Free radicals are oxygen-containing molecules with an uneven number of electrons. They're always short of 1 electron in their molecules. They are oxygen-containing molecules. And because they are short of 1 electron in their molecules, what happens is that they become unstable. And when they become unstable, they will try to go and disturb nearby molecules to rob one of their electrons so that they become stable again. And as they rob other molecules of the electrons, it creates instability in other molecules. And if you have got more and more free radicals in your body, what will happen is that more and more stable molecules will become unstable. And it has been researched that if your body is having more and more free radicals, what will happen is that these free radicals, they will damage, they bring a lot of damage inside your body, in your cells. How? They attack your proteins, they attack your lipids, they attack your DNA, causing over the long term many of these degenerative diseases. One of the most common of the results of long-term oxidative stress is diabetes, heart problem, even dementia and Alzheimer's. Factors that may increase a person's risk of long-term oxidative stress. What are some of these factors? 1, mental emotional stress will cause a sudden surge of free radicals And so your body loses balance. Your antioxidants don't have enough to neutralize the free radicals. The job of antioxidants is to neutralize the damaging effects of free radicals by rendering them helpless. So when antioxidants are lacking in numbers, free radicals are increasing over time. So you will get this oxidative stress in the long run. Short-term oxidative stress can be beneficial. For example, when you go for physical exercise, there will be a release, a generation of free radicals temporarily. But you know that exercise is good. So a short-term oxidative stress is not all the time bad. It can be beneficial. The ugly thing is if the oxidative stress, the free radicals keep adding on and adding on over a period of time, where damages are done to the important parts of your body, like your pancreas, like your brain, and so on. So this will cause a lot of damage, which is very expensive for you to treat. So when you undergo mental emotional stress, especially during this time of the pandemic, your body will tend to have a larger oxidative stress than before. And also when your diets are high in fat, sugar, and processed foods, then your free radicals will spike. Or exposure to radiation, smoking and alcohol consumption, obesity, that means you're putting on too much weight that your body can bear. And then certain medications that we take, they will cause a spike in the free radicals in the body, giving rise to oxidative stress. Now, free radicals can be produced by the normal cellular metabolism. Every time you take food, and also certain foods will actually give rise to release of more free radicals than others. Your diet, from there, free radicals are generated, and they react and destabilize protein, lipid, and DNA, like I mentioned just now, and they will cause cellular damage in the cells, and responsible for degenerative changes. And this, over the long run, is very, very dangerous. Now, the effects of oxidative stress, like I mentioned just now, one very common occurrence is oxidative stress causing diabetes. And most of the time is the type 2 diabetes. Atherosclerosis, or hardening of the blood vessels. And you know, when you use the IM laser therapy, the nitric oxide is able to dilate your blood vessels. So it is a very positive point here to remember. And one of the effects of oxidative stress is inflammatory conditions. A lot of people are unaware that there is too much inflammation inside their body. And prolonged and accumulative inflammatory conditions inside your body is a precursor to having cancer. Now, other effects will include high blood pressure, heart disease, cancer, neurodegenerative diseases such as Parkinson's.
Can you hear me? Andrew? I think there's some line problem. We couldn't hear Mr. Lim. Andrew? Hello, Andrew.
Okay, can you hear me? Hello, everyone can hear me? Caleb, can you hear me? Caleb, do you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Yes.
Can you hear me, Caleb?
I can hear you. Hello, yes, I can hear you. Andrew, yes, I can hear you.
Caleb, can you hear me?
I can hear you very clear. Hello, Andrew, yes, I can hear you.
Yeah.
I can hear you.
Okay. I think everyone can hear me. Yeah.
Yes, yeah. Only we cannot.
Can you hear me now?
Mr. Lim. Say
Can you
again.
hear me now?
Yes, very clear.
Okay. Do I need to go back to the slide just now, or I continue?
This slide, I think continue from this slide.
All right, I go back to, is it this one? The effects of oxidative stress.
Yeah, this one.
Okay, I go again, this one, particular one. The effects of oxidative stress is diabetes. A lot of people are suffering from diabetes because of oxidative stress, especially is diabetes type 2. Today, if you are a diabetes patient, I strongly urge you to use the IM laser every day, at least twice a day, doing the standard treatment. In my case, my diabetes control is so good. You wouldn't believe it. I've been a diabetic patient for 16 years now, and nowadays my blood sugar reading is in the region of 4 to 5. And then arteriosclerosis, hardening of the blood vessels. This is most of the time due to oxidative stress, prolonged oxidative stress. But if you use the IM laser therapy regularly, the blood vessels will be dilated enough for blood flow to be good, and a lot of plaque that is stuck to the inner walls of your blood vessels start to be cleared, start to be removed. So it's a very good sign to prevent heart problems. The next effect is inflammatory conditions. You see, when your body has got a lot of inflammatory condition going on, you may not be aware of it, but this, when you allow it to be prolonged, it is a precursor to having cancer in your body. Now, the other effects are like high blood pressure, heart problem, neurodegenerative diseases such as Parkinson's and Alzheimer's. Okay, I move to the next slide. Can you hear me?
Yes. Yeah, you can hear you, sir. Very
All
clear.
right, good. Yeah.
Okay. No, cut. It's okay. I know you're not taking money. So check the user after you power back.
How is Vis?
Hello.
Vis, VIS. VIS.
You speak from here. I speak. Yeah. I watch. Use the wire better. Because the mic. Hello. Okay. Sorry for the slight technical problem. Research suggests that the following may effectively increase your defense against oxidative stress. One is photobiomodulation therapy at 650 to 850 nanometers. Two, colloidal blend of minerals and amino acids. This, when you combine with the photobiomodulation therapy, is a sure winner to take care of oxidative stress in the body. And thirdly, is using plant stem cell immunity booster. Plant stem cell immunity booster. Plant stem cells are different from animal stem cells. Plant stem cells, strangely enough, has got a very high immunity boosting function. And that is why, if you really are concerned, especially during this season of pandemic, combine these three methods and you will stay free of any fears of the virus. Now, in Vantros, as far as photobiomodulation therapy is concerned, you know, we have the IM laser therapy. Just do it twice a day, 6 days a week. Do it with discipline and reap the results, the good benefits. As far as colloidal blend of minerals and amino acids is concerned, in Vantros, we also have a product called the PSR. PSR, according to our brother Adam, he's given it a new name now. It's called the Premium Self-Healing and Restoration Minerals. Now, as far as plant stem cell immunity booster is concerned, I have good news for you, because in about 2 weeks' time, you all will see the CV8, the plant stem cell from ginseng, 60-year-old ginseng, coming for you to boost your immunity level to such a high level that a lot of people will envy you. How come you can keep yourself so healthy? Now, these are the three products in Vantros that you can use in combination with the IM laser therapy and achieve the high level of immunity at this time in your body. Now, I come to the third point of my sharing today. I talk about the IM laser therapy. I also talk about oxidative stress, the dangers of it. Now, my last point is preparing yourself and your family to face the post-pandemic reality. Now, what are some foreseeable consequences arising out of this devastating pandemic? I'm sure a lot of people are having sleepless nights as they encounter this never heard of before pandemic in the world. From governments to countries to companies to individuals, we are all caught unawares of such a devastating pandemic. For one foreseeable consequence is this: our world has changed irreversibly. That means to say, it will never be the same again. Whether it's the way we live our life, the way we do business, the way we socialize, our world has changed irreversibly. We can't go back anymore.
to those ways. Our world has changed so drastically in so short a time. And it is really frightening to think about how in such a short period of time, we are all caught by a virus. Our eyes can't even see the virus, but it has caused irreversible damage to our way of life. Because of this devastating pandemic, there's going to be a worldwide economic recession. And in some countries, it may be depression. We all have heard about the Great Depression in the 1930s. But economists are predicting the recession and depression this time around is going to be even much harder hitting than the world's economic depression in the 1930s. It is hitting the world when we are least aware of it. And this is very scary. There'll be so much of bankruptcies, foreclosures, retrenchments, massive unemployment, shrinking income. All these are inevitable in the days to come. Malaysia is one of those hardest hit as far as Southeast Asian countries are concerned. You know why? Because our oil and gas is already at the doldrums already. We survive on the income as a nation from the oil and gas, but not anymore. And you find that at this time, as far as tourism is concerned, we have already shrunk to almost zero in tourism. And it's going to get worse and worse. So a lot of people are going to be retrenched. There will be massive unemployment, shrinking income. And I fear to think about how the ringgit is going to be like in the days to come. Just recently, our ringgit was traded at 4.5 to the US dollar. And this is really a big headache for companies who have to use US dollars to buy their goods. And in the days to come, will the ringgit shrink further? I believe it's going to shrink even further. So for businessmen, for companies, how are they going to weather such storms in the future? And then as I look at what's happening, my conclusion is that the conventional way of doing business won't be able to survive this round of economic downturn. New creative ways of doing business has to come about to sustain businesses and companies. And then the cost of healthcare will skyrocket from now on. So a lot of people who fall sick, who need surgery, who needs medical care are going to experience that they can hardly afford the kind of health care that they used to enjoy. Public hospitals, government hospitals will be so full of patients, they may not even have enough beds for people who will have to depend on government hospitals from now on. The cost of health care will skyrocket. So a lot of people won't be able to afford to get sick because it'd be so expensive. not only the cost of healthcare, but the cost of education. And those of you who still have children in colleges, in universities, you want to see them through. That is a noble ambition of every parent, a noble responsibility of every parent. But at a time like this, a lot of parents may have to forego. So you see that the days ahead of us are so full of uncertainties that it creates a lot of stress and anxiety in us. Now, you cannot be in denial that you, as well as everyone else, we have become poorer as a result of this crippling crisis. True security is no more in your job or in your place of employment or in your seniority or in your paper qualification. At a time like this, the reality that looks at us in the face tells us that true security is no more in our job, in our seniority or our paper qualification. It's no more there. And during a time like this, I think seriously, everyone, especially if you are the sole breadwinner in your family and you have become a victim of this pandemic, you need to be prepared for the tough times ahead. But are you prepared for the tough times ahead? I know at this time, a lot of businesses have to close. And the people who run this business, they have to have an alternative way out in the shortest possible time if they are to be able to live through this very difficult period. Now, the good news is, even during tough times, there are still opportunities. There are still opportunities that can help to turn your situation around. Do you believe so? In my mind and from my heart, Vantros is one such opportunity that you might want to consider right now. To take it up, to work on it, and to see that you, in the days to come, not only can weather this storm, but you stand tall, that you actually became wiser, you became richer at a time when a lot of people are suffering. So if you see that there is a huge potential in what Vantros is doing, if you see a huge potential in our IM laser, if you see a huge potential in our other products, I will encourage you, I strongly encourage you to give it a good thought and go and ask the person who invited you to this meeting. Let him or her explain to you what this opportunity at this time can mean to you. I believe that not everybody during the good times will be able to succeed. Not everybody during the good times will fail. Some will fail, some will succeed. The same thing goes during a bad time such as this. Not everybody will go down. Some people will still be able to come up. So I strongly urge you, don't let the stress, the fear, the anxieties cause to panic at this time. But look at what Vantros is doing And if you think you like the idea, you like what we are doing, you like to join us in our healing ministry, then I urge you, quickly go to the person who invited you to this meeting and talk about it and sign up and start using the IM laser therapy and introducing it to your friends. Ladies and gentlemen, I have reached the end of my presentation today. I hope you can receive them well, and I hope that you are blessed through this sharing. If I have made some mistakes here, I ask you to forgive me. Thank you very much. I love you all. Bye.
Thank you, Mr. Lim. Thank you, Mr. Lim, for his presentation. So, first of all, we also want to apologize for some hiccup here and there, partly due to the connection. Normally, during the weekday, the connection are quite good, I must say. Only on Saturday or on a Sunday, we might experience such cases like this. I think maybe the line also knows that okay, Mr. Lim is here, so he got excited. Okay, thank you. So, I think this is very important to summarize. I would like to share with you a little bit of here. Just now, Mr. Lim was sharing. Okay, this, yeah. During this pandemic time, during this time, a lot of people, the first thing they want to do is probably they want to save some cost. I think that is natural because people tends not to spend, right? They will only spend on necessary items that they need, such as food. You need to buy food, and then the education for the children. Again, a lot of people may forgotten, the very important thing is the health. If at this moment you have a good device whereby you only need to invest, I call it invest. You invest, friend, you are investing for your health. You invest not only for you. 1 unit of IM laser integrative medicine, you invest for your whole family, because it is not like you buy one for one person. One family nowadays, one family is today's family is a families of 4 or 5. You need to buy 4 or 5 units. No, I repeat, what you need is only 1 unit. By using this, by buying 1 unit, you protect your whole family. Like at the beginning, and also Mr. Lim has explained, IM laser is very, very effective supplying oxygen to our whole body cell. Our body cell has this 60 to 70 trillions of cells. So protect ourselves from COVID-19, from viruses, because our immune system has been strengthened. The immune system can fight all these stubborn viruses, it shut down the whole world. At the same time, another diseases people are so worried today is the number 1 killer in Malaysia or in the world is cancer. So by using IM laser, I'm very sure that you are free, so-called. In a way, I can say that you are free from these 2 threats. For myself, for my family, okay, I can very proud to say that IM laser has helped us a lot, right? And you can come to my house and spot check. In my fridge, there's no medicine one, none, except the paracetamol, the painkiller that is already expired. You know why we still keep it? Because my mother-in-law, I say, no, you cannot throw away, you must at least keep one. Okay lah, so just make the mother-in-law happy. So you can come to my house and spot check. The only thing you can find in my fridge is the expired paracetamol. Is this a good news for you? Is this a good news for you? It's just that I'm using, my whole family are using IM laser every day. And You don't have to go and buy certain thing to do this Vantros business. No. Every one of you, if you are already member, company is offering us a very, very good deal now, right? If you need the PSR, the number 2, you look at the screen, the colloidal blend of minerals, amino. Good news is tomorrow, our marketing director, Adam, is going to share with us on the PSR. Is it PSR? Tomorrow. I also blur a little bit sometimes. Okay, anyway, Adam is going to share with us something. So, now, if you register with Vantros through the Google, through the link, and then you bring 3 friends, you get a free AGX. A free AGX. So you bring 3 friends just to attend our afternoon 3 o'clock tea time. This tea talk, or you call it. And if let's say you don't know how to explain to your friend, you just bring over your friend. Yeah, bring your friend to our meeting. And this is how you start the business. I tell you one good news, right? My good friend Eric Yo, he closed 5 units this month. Easy, right? Just invite your friend. Hi, congratulations, Eric. Congratulations. Okay, so I think most of you would like to ask some questions. I put out there. I'd like you to have the time to ask a question to Mr. Lim or our GM, Mr. Ling Andrew. Hello. Yeah, you can type or you can raise your hand. I will release you. And I hope that after you ask the question, you mute your mic, or else it will be quite interference, have some interference. Okay, now is time for everyone. Today we have a very good attendees. I saw just now we have a 202. Congratulations, all of you. Yeah. Hi. It's only 4:20, still very early. Any question you like to ask? I saw just now there's a question asking something like drinking water or what. Lina was asking why, Mr. Lim, why we need to drink warm water before and after the therapy?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, sir.
Okay, we need more intake of room temperature water before and after each therapy is because when we are on the therapy, the therapy induces very quick, very fast metabolism, and so the detoxification process will also be speeded up. So we need a lot of water to flush out the detoxified chemicals out of the body.
There's one question here. Joanne was asking, is it necessary to stop one day? Why?
See, we have to look at this therapy as in cycles. Every week is one cycle. So when you build up, remember I said there is an accumulative effect. The one therapy builds on another and it becomes better. But after about 6 days, you would have plateau off already. The performance might already have plateau off. So when you rest one day and then you start a new cycle, you will find that the performance of the therapy will get boosted again and it starts another move on to the next plateau. That's why we do 6 days, rest one day.
Frankie is asking any maximum time of use of IM laser per day and what is the interval one after another per day?
Okay. You can use the IM laser therapy more than twice a day, as when you need to have a boost of the ATP, of the energy for your cells. And we recommend that you give a short interval between one therapy and another. But there are times when it is quite beneficial to do 2 therapies at a go, one after another, without any interval. And that kind of boost is very evident. We have got some new users, who came back to us and say, I use it for a week and don't find any improvement. Then we recommend them, okay, now you go back, you try. You do 2 therapies at a go, one after another, without interval, and then you see what happens. And true enough, when they did it this way, they found that, wow, there is benefits coming from the IM laser therapy.
So I think this one answer, does this break also apply to a new user, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, will IM laser help in degenerative bone disease?
Hello?
Degenerative bone disease. What is that?
Bone. I think it's bone. Bone.
It has to be bone, yeah.
Bone disease. This is so Maliga.
Yeah, Miss Maria.
Yeah. Okay. I know of one case. This man, when he was 9 years old, he was bitten by a strange kind of mosquito, which left him paralyzed from his chest downwards. He was paralyzed. Until today, he's already in his late 50s already. So his bone became very brittle. He cannot move. Once he moved, his bones will break. And there was a time he needed to go for surgery in the hospital, but they cannot move him. The ambulance cannot take him to the hospital because his bones will break. So I suggested to the brother of this man, let him use the IM laser, do target therapy to the areas that he's prone to have breakage to the bones. And 2 months later, he was able to go get transported to the hospital to do his surgery. So what does that prove? It shows that the IM laser therapy over that 2 months period has strengthened the bone density so that it doesn't break easily.
Okay, Charlie asks, Mr. Lim, my diabetic still 7 after using about 5 months daily. Sorry, where is it? 2 times, but no improvement. Please advise.
Okay, good. Now, when you are having diabetes, besides you use the IM laser therapy, you must also remember that the IM laser therapy doesn't give you the license to eat what you want. You still have to observe your diet. You still have the discipline and take care of your diet. You still have to do the basic exercises to keep your body fit. And when you combine all this together, you will see the results. In my case, I've used it for 4 years already. And today, I still go on my diabetes medication, but it is already half the dosage that I used to take. And I also try my best to be watchful over my diet. And I get very good fasting sugar readings every morning. In fact, I was so surprised. 2 days ago, my reading was at its lowest ever, 3.7.
Frankie asking, is 5 years interval recommended?
What?
5 hours, sorry.
5 years interval.
5 hours interval.
Okay, right. This is Frankie. Frankie,
Yeah.
there is no hard and fast rule how long one therapy from another, the interval, the time interval. There is no hard and fast rule, but most people will want to do once in the morning, once later in the evening.
Mr. Chin asking, Mr. Lim, are you still on medication to have this good blood reading 4 to 5 after using arm laser?
Okay, Casey Chin, yes, I'm still taking my blood sugar medication, but as I said just now, it is already, the dosage is already half of what I used to take. I was at one point about to be jabbed with insulin jabs because my body wasn't responding to all the medication. But thanks to the IM laser, it starts to fall into place. And today, I'm very, very happy with my blood sugar readings.
Oh, this question, Low Chin, Mr. Low, I think the father of my friend suffered from serious stroke. ICU for almost a month. After discharge, he used IM laser for a month and lost confidence and just chucked the device on one side, saying no effect or any benefits at all. What can I do now?
This is a question that has to do with lack of confidence in what our IM laser can do. If a person understands fully the science behind this medical device, then they will be able to understand that you cannot use this therapy and yet not derive some benefits out of this therapy. You know, the strange thing is, sometimes some people, they put the device to use for a certain condition. For example, they put the device for diabetes. But in the first month when they use, the blood sugar reading didn't come down, but they noticed that their blood pressure actually came down. And so this tells us that the IM laser, when we put it to use, it will go and do the healing and restoration to the part that is more urgent. And it requires our patience, our discipline to stick to it and not just after a month and say it's no use, I throw it away. Actually, it's really sad because anybody who persists over a 2-month period will experience some benefits out of the laser therapy.
FK asks, how did the device work on boosting immune system? And how much can it boost our immune system? Any clinical studies to read on further?
Okay, to FK, just now Caleb mentioned about the B cells and the T cells, you know, the white blood cells. All these cells, they will fight any invasion by foreign bodies like bacteria, like viruses. To have the ability to fight the invasion by viruses and bacteria, the T cells and all the pathogens, they will need energy to be able to fight. So what kind of energy do they need actually? They need ATP. They need ATP. So when ATP is sufficiently released inside the cell can only be healthy. It will not be the victim of these invasions by bacteria and viruses. And that is why at this time of the pandemic, we must use the IM laser as the weapon to stay healthy from the point of view of our immunity. As far as clinical studies are concerned, actually, if you Google, there are actually journal papers that the use of the LLLT will build up our body's immunity in many ways. Now, I'm just talking about LLLT, but if we combine with our acupuncture therapy, with our magnet therapy, in the effect of boosting the immunity in our body is even higher.
Okay. Well, John asked, is thyroid patient can use? If yes, how many times per day? Just vary on wrist or on the neck area?
Okay, as far as thyroid is concerned, there are different kinds of thyroids. But remember, thyroid is always a result of hormonal problems inside the body. The hormones in the body has gone haywire. So if we are to use IM laser for such a condition, just do the standard therapy. Avoid putting the device onto the thyroid area.
Okay, I think there's no more question. Oh, the patient is age of 4. That's pretty young.
For what?
Small kid.
Okay, therapy used on thyroid patient. Thyroid patient age 4 years old? Yes. Okay, for such a young kid, any therapy is best directed to the navel and 1 bar for 10 minutes.
Gutalan asked, within how long can the person use IM laser if stent has been placed in his body recently?
Okay, let his body rest for at least 1 month after the stent procedures done. Then you can do the standard therapy at the wrist, starting with 2 bars and 20 minutes.
Oh, thank you. Okay, I think. All right. Any more questions from the floor? If not, it's just past 4:30, and there's no more question. Then okay. Oh, ringing in the ears. How to treat it?
Ringing in your ears is what? Tinnitus.
For tinnitus, usually, sorry, I'm Andrew. For tinnitus, usually what you do is that apart from doing the standard therapy, you can do an additional target treatment, which is switch on intensity of 4. Then you place the nostrils line on your ear, because by doing that, you are actually dealing with the acupuncture point as well. So you can do that both, yeah. Normal wearing on your wrist and nose, and at the same time do additional target treatment on your yes.
Charlie has a very good question. There are so many bars and functions. Please explain on the mode of use.
Okay.
I think
If you talk about the explanation on the mode and everything, I suggest you go back to your upline, ask the person that introduced this product to you to explain to you lah. But if you talk about overall the intensity and things like that, I can explain to you. They are only don't make it complicated. Okay, first of all, using this therapy, there are two ways of using. One we call the standard therapy, which is you wear it on your wrist and on your nose. That is for standard therapy. Okay, that is actually for the targeting of your whole body system, you know. And of course, there are another type of treatment called target treatment. Target treatment, usually it is in the intensity of 4, okay, the strongest. That is actually mainly for the fast relief of pain and inflammation if you do have any. And of course, the other time where you do the target treatment is when you know acupuncture point. You want to enhance your acupuncture point. So you place it directly on where your acupuncture point is. Okay, so intensity 1, 2, 3, 4, what is the difference? Intensity 1 is usually reserved for kids who are 9 years old and below, who are having certain condition. You want to improve the body condition. So what you do is that you switch it on to intensity 1, 10 minutes, you place it on top of the navel. Okay, intensity 2 is actually usually for those people who are having very serious health issue, and you don't want to start them off with immediately 3 bars, 30 minutes standard treatment. You don't want to start them off immediately because they might experience a huge healing crisis or things like that. You want to avoid all these things. So you start them off with 2 intensity, 20 minutes, okay, 1 to 2 times per day. And of course, the 3 is intensity of 3 is for standard treatment for anyone who are healthy, you know, things like that. But intensity 4 is actually for target treatment. Okay, that is actually okay, Charlie, did I explain to you on that? Okay, can understand, huh? What else? Thyroid patient can use. Sorry, John, I think your line disconnected. I will answer on behalf of Mr. Lim again. Okay, for thyroid patients, okay, definitely you can use IM laser, but it is only standard therapy. Avoid doing target treatment. Okay. Standard therapy meaning that wearing it on your wrist and nose only, no target treatment on your thyroid. And how many times per day? 2 to 3 times per day will be fine. Yeah.